cracking, everybody? Hello and welcome to the home of Hijinks. I'm Ailey.
And I'm Olivia. We are so excited to have you here. We have received our very first full pre-con deck review slash preview slash we're just going to talk about new cards and be all excited that we get to show you guys a bunch of things for the first time and that Wizards of the Coast picked us for the honor. So yay.
Thank you very much to Wizards of the Coast for giving us a heckin' cool deck to preview for you. Oh, I know, I'm very excited. Olivia's going to be driven mad by this, no doubt, because it is none other than Cavalry Charge! Esper Knights. I'm so excited. So what we're going to do is take you through all the new cards being printed in this, as well as take a quick look at the reprints, and then take a look-ski at the planes, because it's Planechase, and that makes me even more excited.
I'm so excited. I love Planechase. Okay.
I can't wait.
I'm cool. I'm chill. We're all it's all good.
All right then, without further ado, let's jump into the new cards. Olivia, what's up first?
Leading our majestic and amazing deck full of knights is Sidar Jabari of Zhalfir, a legendary human knight for 1 and an Esper, 4/3 with Eminence.
Ooh.
Eminence is whenever you attack with 1 or more knights. If Sidar Jabari of Zhalfir is in the command zone or on the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. He's got flying and first strike, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, return target knight creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield.
I'm looking forward to playing with this and seeing what shenanigans we can get going from the graveyard, especially with something like a Hakon.
For sure. And if folks want to tell us in the comments if you guys have any spicy ideas of how best to use Sidar Jabari outside of this pre-con and what you might build around, we would love to see what you think. So please let us know. Chivalric Alliance at 1 and a white. It's an enchantment that reads whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, draw a card. Pay 2, discard a card, create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance.
Oh, I love it. In my aggressive decks, I often never have ways to draw cards, so if I can just turn things sideways and draw cards, very nice. Up next, we've got Conjurer's Mantle. Hey, look, Olivia, it's an artifact. You like those.
I know, I love artifacts.
For 1 and a white, equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you may reveal a card that shares a creature type with that creature from among them and put it into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and equip 1. That's pretty nifty. More ways to dig through the deck.
Yeah, and find all the stuff that matches up with anything else you're running if you've got that kind of strategy. And it's cheap.
What's next? I'm excited. I'm excited.
Next up is one of those wonky paired legendary cards, but it's a cool one. 2 friends from Ixalan, Elenda and Azor. 3 Esper to cast a legendary creature, Vampire Knight Sphinx. That is a 6/6. Elenda and Azor has flying and ward 2. Whenever Elenda and Azor attack, you may pay X and Esper. If you do, draw X cards. At the beginning of each end step, you may pay for life. If you do, create a number of 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature tokens with lifelink equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn.
So cool. Turning cards into dudes. Oh.
Yeah, what a spicy little mashup of their 2 abilities.
Oh,
As
I love
connoisseurs of Orzhov know, Elenda will make 1/1 white lifelink tokens.
Yeah.
And these are 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature tokens. But still, the card draw thing, that's bonkers.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to make a deck just with these 2. When I saw this card, I was like, oh, we could do like some Rafine connive shenanigans. That could be real sweet if you wanted to shift it away from the Knight's focus and just draw cards and make creatures. It's real cool.
You can have some fun with this card. Thanks, Randy Vargas, for that sweet art.
Up next, we have Exsanguinator Cavalry. Exsanguinator Cavalry, 2 and a black for a 2/3 with Menace and Lifelink. Whenever a knight you control deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on that creature and create a blood token. So that's also nifty. Another way to filter through the deck using relatively new mechanics with the blood tokens, and you get a massive creature if you're able to get this out with a board just swinging with ready. So
Gross, 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 gross. We love it.
Love it. Oh, I wish it said whenever a knight or a vampire.
It would be so busted with some of the vampires that exist already.
It's a fair enough card. It's not busted. The next one, though, could potentially be super bonkers.
We're bringing a mechanic back y'all haven't seen in a minute. Herald of Hoofbeats, 3 and a blue for a human knight creature. It's a 3/3 with horsemanship. This creature can't be blocked except by creatures with horsemanship. And other knights you control have horsemanship.
And all the non-horsemanship creatures said nay. I had to.
Funny story, this happens to be blue as well, which another card called Arcane Adaptation also happens to be. So you could just make everything knights.
Make it all a knight. Yeah.
And make it all have horsemanship. Oh my god. So there you go. Stupid, sweet. I love it.
I dig it. That's cool. Next up, we've got Ichor Elixir. It's an artifact for 4 mana. If you would roll 1 or more planar dice, instead roll that many planar dice plus 1 and ignore 1. It also adds 2 colorless mana for you. So, it being Planechase, we wish to have chaos ensue multiple times. Let's freaking go.
Planechase. Next up, we've got the Lockthwain Lancer, 4 and a black for a human knight with menace. Whenever a non-token knight you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you draw a card. Not gain a life. Draw a card.
If you're running any sort of aristocrat synergies, this is so cool. Just eat your entire board, kill things, draw cards. Up next, we've got Path of the Enigma. It's a sorcery for 4 and a blue. Target player draws 4 cards. Will of the Planeswalkers. Starting with you, each player votes for Planeswalk or Chaos. If Planeswalk gets more votes, Planeswalk. If Chaos gets more votes or the vote is tied, Chaos ensues.
Next up is Vidalian Wave Knight, 2 and Azorius for a Merfolk Knight. Whenever you draw a card, put a 1/1 counter on each other Merfolk and or Knight you control.
Oh.
Well, there's a card for Prof if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah. This is actually pretty darn good, you know, now that I've looked at it properly, because I was just like, oh, it's just a fishy knight. No, it's a very good fishy knight, because this deck likes to draw cards. So this is going to get out of hand real quick. Maybe you want to kill this thing first if you see it.
Yeah, right, because it's going to get big fast.
Ooh, boy. And last but not least of the new cards, we've got Xerix Strobe Knight. It is a 2/2 human knight for 2 and a blue, and it can tap to create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance. Only activate if you cast 2 or more spells this turn. And then in the rest of the deck, the reprints are as follows. Acclaimed Contender, Adeline, Resplendent Cathar, Arvad the Cursed, Ariel, Knight of Windgrace, Corpse Knight, Aethersworn Adjudicator, Falmire Knight, Hakon, Stromgold Scourge, Hero of Bladehold, Josu Vess, Lich Knight, Knight Exemplar, Knight of the Last Breath, Knight of the White Orchid, Knights of the Black Rose, Liliana's Standard Bearer, Midnight Reaper, Murderous Rider, Order of Midnight, Silverwing Squadron, Smitten Swordmaster, Sir Eleonora the Discerning, Sir Conrad the Grim, Valiant Knight, Vona, Butcher of Magan, Wintermoor Commander, Worthy Knight.
As far as sorceries, instants, artifacts, and enchantments go, here's what we've got. We have Distant Melody, Fell the Mighty, Painful Truths, Promise of Loyalty, Read the Bones, Time Wipe. For instance, there's Despark, Path to Exile, Pull from Tomorrow, Return to Dust, Swords to Plowshares, and Unbreakable Formation. For the artifacts, we're running Arcane Signet, Commander Sphere, Felwar Stone, Fractured Power Stone, another Planechase inclusion, Herald's Horn, Maul of the Skyclaves, Mind Stone, Orzhov Signet, Sigiled Sword of Valoron, Soul Ring, and Vanquisher's Banner. We're only running 1 enchantment here, and it's Knight's Charge. As far as the pre-con land suite, it's a lot of the usual suspects, giving you interesting abilities that come in tapped, fixing for color, or letting you search for a basic that you're looking for at just the right time.
A couple of cool cards I'm looking forward to upgrading this deck list with. History of Benalia, Dominaria All-Star, give all your knights some buffs. It's not as powerful as it used to be back in the day in Standard, but still very, very cool. I know they're not very strong, but the Knights of Malice and Grace, also from original Dominaria. Knight of the Ebon Legion, come on, that little vampire bro, he's so good. Ooh, Sorin, Grim Nemesis, he makes vampire knights.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. There's some synergy.
Circle of Loyalty, that big dumb artifact that you can't ever cast because it costs too much. Stick that in there. Door Destiny's another excellent way to buff up your creatures of a certain type. And then, you know, what good is a knight without a sword, Olivia? So just chuck a couple swords in there. Body and Mind, Feast and Famine, Fire and Ice, whatever.
Another card to consider is Reflections of Lityara. As Reflections enters the battlefield, you can choose a creature type, and whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell.
As we mentioned, these are Planechase decks, so let's take a look at the planes that are included in Cavalry Charge.
The first plane you can visit with this deck is Innish-Hain. This plane reads, when you planeswalk to Innish-Hain, and at the beginning of your upkeep, mill 3 cards. When you planeswalk away from Innish-Hain, each player returns all land cards from their graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Whenever chaos ensues, return target non-land card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yes, more graveyard shenanigans, yes.
Definitely graveyard shenanigans.
Next up is Lityara from Keldheim. When you planeswalk to Lityara and at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. Read that as Knight. Whenever chaos ensues, choose a creature type, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control of that type. Yes, please.
Lit Yara's busted. That's sweet.
Lit Yara is lit.
Oh man, that's 2 in the same video. Another Planechase card is actually a phenomenon. It's Mutual Epiphany. When you encounter Mutual Epiphany, each player draws 4 cards, and then planes walk away from this phenomenon.
Up next, we've got a Rocky Colony from Kamigawa. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Yeah, let's ramp with creatures. Whenever chaos ensues, target creature can't be blocked this turn.
Weird, wild stuff. It's almost like it's your 2 favorite things, ramping and turning things sideways.
I'm not too fussed about the ramping part, but if turning things sideways gets me cards, dings my opponents, and gets me land...
It's the sideways bonus. Next up, we are venturing to Paliano, the land of Queen Marquesa. The Plains Fiora, and whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, if there's no monarch, you become the monarch. Whenever chaos ensues, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with Death Touch and Haste.
Up next, we got Sokenzen from Kamigawa. All creatures get +1/+1 and have haste. Good. More ways to turn things sideways quicker. Whenever chaos ensues, untap all creatures that attack this turn. If it's a main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase, followed by an additional main phase. I heard you like phases.
Next up, we have the Chaldea. The Chaldea? Who knows? Creature spells you cast from your hand have Blitz 3. If you cast a spell for its Blitz cost, it gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Whenever chaos ensues, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Up next is Truga Jungle from Ergadon. All lands have add 1 mana of any color. Oh, thanks! Whenever chaos ensues, reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. I think out of all the planes in this deck, this one's kind of the most tame.
Tame, but awesome. Next up's Turi Island from the Plane of Ear. Creature spells cost 2 less to cast. Whenever chaos ensues, reveal the top 3 cards of your library. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest in your yard. Guess who's back? Back again, Zalfir!
Indeed, this is Unyaro from said Plane of Zelfir. At the beginning of your end step, if you planeswalk to Unyaro this turn, untap all creatures. They phase out until a player planeswalks. Whenever chaos ensues, create 2 2/2 white and blue knight creature tokens with vigilance. Oh, that's cool. Man, I'm so looking forward to playing with these. This is going to be awesome.
I'm a big fan of Planechase, as a lot of people may or may not know. It is probably my favorite way to play Commander because that really perfectly tuned, so synergistic deck may or may not work for you when you go to a different plane. And it's really fun to experience that. So I can't recommend Planechase enough. Be ready for a longer game, certainly, but really cool way to interact with things, have fun with your friends, and see your decks in a new light.
I'm pretty sure that we are going to have some Planechase games on the channel, so don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Olivia, hands off this one. This one's mine. Cool?
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
I call dibs on our preview deck. You can have one of the others.
You can play Esper as a treat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So there's the deck. I can't wait to get my hands on it personally. And thank you so much once again to Wizards of the Coast for letting us preview Cavalry Charge.
Absolutely. Thanks again. And thank you guys for watching. Please let us know in the comments, definitely, if you have any spicy includes or switches that you think we missed, or what you would want to do with this deck that isn't exactly the pre-con. Thanks for visiting us here at Elder Dragon Hijinks. If you want to watch not perfect, but still really fun Commander gameplay, we're here for you. Don't be afraid to click the things that make the dings. Like, subscribe, comment, check out our Patreon, and check out our amazing sponsors.
Also, be sure to check out the other pre-cons. I'll link them in the description below, and let us know what your favorites are. Pick this one.